Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at energy fuels. It is time for another update, and today we actually reached the targeted area of support that we have been looking for a possible ideal entry, where it was in confluence, it was in an overlap with both interpretations that we were tracking. Now there is no guarantee that it will hold. It did so far. Even if we opened below the targeted area today, it recovered swiftly within the first couple of minutes, and we will be discussing in a moment the key levels that we need to watch out for. But quickly on the large time frame, I want to present for any of you who might be new the idea that we are tracking, or could be considered ideas basically. But yeah, the main idea is that we have here a 1-2 setup, and now we are looking for a larger third wave that would develop in this area. And within such a third wave, we expect to form a 5-wave structure within an impulse. So far, so good. We do have the ability to track an impulse in this area, with one caveat, because we haven't necessarily gotten close enough within this 1, 2, 3 that has already formed to the ideal target for such a wave 3, which is around the $130 level. So there is quite a significant risk that we may form an initial 5-wave structure, and we may need to look for a larger correction in a possible wave 2. Yeah, this could turn into a 1-2 setup, but at that point we do also face the risk of this being a larger ABC structure, in which case it could still be part of a much larger uptrend that would be forming, but we would need to face the reality that we may get a much deeper correction in that case, possibly getting us even below the beginning of this entire movement to the upside, which is around the $3 level. Yeah. But for now, in both scenarios, we are still looking for continuation higher to complete at least an initial 5-wave structure to the upside. And within this structure, we do still have the possibility to push into a direct third wave to the upside, but we need to pace ourselves and get it or track it level by level. And within this structure, we have so far been looking for a 1, 2, 3 that could be complete. Yeah, this third wave, we do have the possibility to extend it, and this is basically that what we have been tracking in the last few videos, where we have the blue scenario considering a 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th that would mark this larger wave 3 in green done, and we would be looking for a correction here in a wave 4 to reach the area of support between the $17.6 level all the way down to the $10.7 level. And then we also have the idea of the white interpretation that would actually still allow an extension within this internal wave 3 to the upside, where it would make kind of more sense that this would be a 1, 2, 3, because yeah, internally within this structure, this is much stronger than what we have here as the third wave in the blue scenario. And I would prefer actually tracking this as a 1, 2, 3, where the third wave is all clearly an ABC. Yeah, we are tracking an ending diagonal to the upside within both the blue and the white interpretation. But in the white interpretation, we consider only the third wave done so far, and we are looking for a possible bottom here in a wave 4, and then still another 5th wave to the upside to form an additional high. Now, if we really are to form this structure, we do pretty much need to hold this area of support. Now, today we did open below the last level of support, but it is very, very fine, no problem there, because we recovered very swiftly within the first few minutes and quite strongly as well. So I am completely fine with it breaking briefly below the area of support. Yeah, I mention all the time that it is not a problem to do such a thing, especially if it is so quick. Now, in the previous video, we were also considering possible extensions higher, either within this wave B in yellow before we continue in our downtrend, since we have broken the local areas of resistance for direct continuation here to form the wave 4. And we were also considering the possibility of already having formed a bottom here within the wave 4, but clearly this was not the case. And now we can remove these interpretations, especially of a direct upside, and consider a possible bottom here done in a wave 4. Now, as I was mentioning, we are looking ideally for a 5-wave structure to the downside within this wave C in yellow, And it is technically possible to consider it complete, but I do have to say, we do need to watch out for further possible extensions, and those are the levels that we need to break for a more clear signal, a first signal that we have indeed bottomed within the wave 4 in white. And those would be for the idea of a possible extension here in the wave C in yellow, where instead of counting a full 5-wave structure done, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I could consider this a 1, 2, 3. This could be a fourth, and we could be looking for a fifth wave to the downside to still push further. So far, this does seem like the more likely scenario. We only have here, on the very small time frame, but we only have a 3-wave structure to the upside, which is a signal that, there is no confirmation that we have bottomed. If we manage to form a 5-wave structure, that would be a good signal that a bottom may be formed. We would be looking for a higher reliability 1-2 setup. But for now, we do need to watch out for the area of resistance for such a wave 4, and it would likely be within a diagonal structure, and in that case, I would need to allow the 61.8% retracement as well. But the general area of resistance for such a wave 4 would be between the $16.8 level all the way up to the $18.7 level, where so far we got to the 50% retracement and we got rejected, and we seem to have broken the possibility of direct upside within even a possible impulse in this area. Now, this wave 4 could extend no problem. It could even form an additional high in something like an ABC easily, but as long as we stay below the $18.7 level, we need to watch out for a continuation to the downside in a fifth wave here in the yellow scenario. And if we actually really get that, well, I wouldn't necessarily turn full bearish, but I would have to say that the white interpretation that would allow for an extension within this larger wave 3 is likely done, and we would need to consider a top here and look for the larger wave 4 to find the bottom. Now, again, that isn't a problem. That was why this level was so interesting to us, because it was very much in confluence with the larger area of support in the green scenario. So even if we fail to hold such a level in the white interpretation, we are in a larger area of support where we could find a bottom at any time. From these levels, we can always look for a bottom, and in many of the cases of support areas that I have provided you, we have gotten, for example, on the Apple chart, on the Eli Lilly and Company chart, we have gotten to the first level of support, barely touched it, and pushed straight up. So it does happen at times, which is why it is an especially interesting area to enter and to consider a position. Now, I'm not telling you what to do, and I will never do that. If it appears so, keep in mind what I'm saying now. I will not tell you what to do. But even if we fail here in the white scenario, I will be watching for a possible bottom after this 5-wave completion in the yellow scenario as well, especially in this area where we have some significant structural support, which is between the $15.15 level all the way down to the $14.9 level, for example, and then we have some additional support at the 38.2% retracement, the $13.4 level. And at any of these points, really, we could find a bottom and start the larger fifth wave to the upside, in which, let me tell you, we could see quite significant gains, possibly. I cannot actually give you a target right now, even we haven't bottomed yet, so I cannot really look for an extension within this fifth wave to the upside, but we are looking for additional highs in this area, maybe to the $40 level, maybe the $35 level, and the fifth wave could extend very, very much. Consider how much we extended internally within this fifth wave to the upside in a third, fourth, and the fifth, where the fifth wave is nearly or as long as the actual wave 3. So those things can happen, and we could be looking at quite high potential on this chart, even if we don't extend internally within this white scenario. And for now, all else I want to provide you is the idea of a possible 1-2 setup in this area. Keep in mind, in the larger count here in the fifth wave in white, we are looking for an ABC pattern. We are tracking an ending diagonal. So it wouldn't even be a surprise if we don't manage to create an impulse from this area. We could regardless look for a possible 1-2, and I would again watch out for the 61.8% retracement as a decently valuable area to find a bottom again. Yeah, even if we opened below it today. I suppose we could be watching out for something like a support area, but it's on such a small time frame, it's not very relevant. We have gotten to the 61.8% retracement. The larger support zone is in overlap with the 78.6% retracement. Those are just some levels to watch on the smaller time frame, but not very relevant if you ask me, so we won't really keep them here. And then to the downside in this fifth wave, if I am to consider a possible bottom here, which even if this is on the 5-minute time frame, it could be close to one. I'm not necessarily convinced it is done, but I would be watching out for resistance internally in a possible ABC in the area between the $17.2 level all the way up to the $17.9 level. And we will put these in the yellow scenario, but keep in mind, we don't need to form another low. We could have a full count, and from a large time frame perspective, we are in a larger area of support. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.